course, that's all very well, but first we had to get there, and the distance from Chester to Ancona is 1,300 miles, and we had 13 stops. And we allowed 21 days to get there, which was a bit odd really, because we weren't quite sure whether this was a holiday or part of the journey, so we always had that pressure. We wanted to make sure we could get there in time. We got to Greece, we had 10 stops, and really basically this is when our holiday started. First stop, Prague, we had 5 days. On our main stop was at Ypres, where we had 2 weeks. After a 275-mile journey from Chester to Canterbury, we had a brief stop, and then in the morning we hopped over to Dover to catch the ferry. Bit of a grey day, but there's the famous cliffs, and soon we were in Calais. And we're on our way to our first continental stop, Ypres. And here we are. Stayed here many times. Whoa, I don't think we've had this before. This is really unusual. We've never had to book before in September, and I think mainly it's because since COVID there has been so many vans sold that it's got so much busier in October even. Anyway, there's a road just by the air and that we could park up here. You couldn't stay the night, but it was great. We just walked into Ypres to have a look round. We'd found an air about a mile from the city centre. Some trenches have been well preserved. They may look nicely preserved now, but they weren't like this when my grandfather was there. They were just full of water. And when they were relieved from their particular part of duty, they were taken back to a bit of R&R. But my grandfather said they took their uniforms up and ironed them because to kill all the ticks in their clothes. And he used to say, you can hear them going tick, 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 tick. And he said, I give you buggers. One particular harrowing night, he was with his best mate on guard, and his mate turned to him and said, hey up Lou, you better move back, these are getting a bit close. And as he stepped back there was a huge bang, and when he woke up he couldn't see his friend, and he found him in the water, submerged in the water, with his head, well, half his head blown off. It's a testimony, really, to the stupidity of human race, and it's a very sobering area to visit for the devastation that's still obvious today. Ypres itself was absolutely decimated, and the famous cloth hall that dominates the city today was completely destroyed. And the buildings you see today were rebuilt after World War I and to the original design. Anyway, to continue our journey, this is the air we found, and you could cycle into Ypres or you could actually walk.